Hi, my name is Michelle Vamos, and today I'm going to walk you through my Adulting 101 program. This program is intended for anyone that's interested to find out what adulting is. This program has a lot of memes because adulting, let's be honest, is a lot of funny memes, and a lot of different things that maybe you don't learn in school. I know when I was in high school, we didn't learn these things. So we're going to go over how to write a resume, a cover letter, a thank you letter that all goes with the resume, how to do some simple sewing, and I think that's about it. All right, so we'll get started. So Adulting 101, that horrifying moment when you're looking for an adult, but then you realize that you are an adult, so you look for an older adult, an adultier adult, someone better adulting than you. Adulting 101, because life doesn't come with instructions. Okay, so first we're just going to go over really the hierarchy of needs, right? So we're going to start with your basic needs, your psychological needs, and then your self-fulfillment needs. If you are encompassing and you really have all these needs met, then you will be the happiest adult that you can be. So on the bottom, we're going to start with the basic needs. Really just the things that everyone really needs to survive. I shaded out what they said on each part because I feel like everyone's safety needs and esteem needs are all a little different and met different ways, but more or less, the physiological needs are like food, water, warmth, rest, right? We need food and we need water to survive. Those are basic needs. Also, if we don't rest, I know if I don't sleep, I'm not that nice of a person, right? You need to make sure you get enough rest, good uninterrupted rest. The best kind of rest is not going to bed and waking up with your phone right in your face. So again, nice uninterrupted rest, warmth and shelter. We need to be safe and warm. Then after that, there's safety needs. We need security, we need safety, we need to feel that we are safe, right? You don't have to be in that fight or flight mode all the time. And then belonging and love needs. So that is love and belonging from family, from friends, feeling like you have a group of friends, right? When we're in high school or we go to college or we go to the workforce, sometimes you meet new friends, and that's just, feeling like you have a group or you have someone that cares about you in whatever stage you're in. Esteem needs. This is, right, your self-esteem is so important. Prestige and feelings of accomplishment. When you accomplish something, you feel better about yourself. You feel better about yourself. You feel better about your choices. You just feel better in general. And then self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. So, right, if you have a job that you really love, or you take a class that you're really interested in, you feel accomplished, you feel better. So that is super important as well. So again, these two are the basic needs, these are the psychological needs, and these are the self-fulfillment needs. So really it just all comes together. If you can accomplish all these, you will be thriving. So this is totally not proper English, but I thought it was funny. Sorry, I got cut off a little bit on the top, but it says, look, me adulting all over the place. I think you should say, look, I am, or I'm adulting all over the place, but thought it was kind of funny. Now we're going to talk about a resume. I'm going to show you up close an example of a resume, but we're just going to go real quick the different parts of the resume. So you always want to write your name and then your contact information. So here it says the address, the phone number, and an email. You want to make sure that your email is appropriate, right? I just always have emails that are my name. So when I had my maiden name, it was michelle.blah@gmail.com. Now it's has my married name. A summary. So here you want to write really some information about you. So this person wrote motivated honor roll high school student with a proven leadership skills and history of philanthropic involvement, seeking work experience and professional development opportunities. Okay, so this person made this resume for high school. The one I'm going to show you later, I believe, is for college, but they're really same kind of thing. So here we have the education. You're going to write your high school you went to and any achievements you had. For GPA, this person had a 3.8. I would say if you have anything 3.0 or above, right on here. If you have, not the highest GPA, just leave it out. Anything that's not the best or that you don't feel confident about putting on here, just leave it out. It's better to leave it out than write something that you're not sure about. So we have the GPA, anticipated diploma date, because the person has not graduated yet. National Merit Scholar, honor roll, when they were honor roll. So here they were 2016 to current. And then AP and IB coursework. And then also you want to write where you went to school. So here you would write high school and where the high school is located. Then extracurricular and volunteer activities. So this person was on the tennis team, student council, and volunteered at the food bank. So again, instead of writing where, you're going to write when on the side. And then you're going to write again anything that you've done, anything you've accomplished. So team captain, regional champions, what this person did in student council, they were secretary, and what some of the jobs entitled there were, and food bank, what they did at the food bank. Then you also want to write any skills you have. So if you are proficient at PowerPoint or Excel or anything like that, you definitely want to put that here. Also, this person did CPR, so they wrote that. They know Spanish at the intermediate level, Microsoft, all that stuff. So again, anything you want to showcase, this is where you showcase. This is kind of saying, this is everything that I'm proud of. Here you go, hire me. Okay, now job application. Every job application is different, but when you go for an interview or when you just go to fill out an application, you want to make sure that you have all the correct paperwork with you. So your ID, working papers if you have them, all that stuff, or if you need them. So here you're just going to write your first and last name. You should know all of that. Your address, phone number, email address. Are you at least 16 years old? Are you over 18? And then the job you're applying for. So this stuff, 100% answer. Down here, placement information. If you know what position you're applying for, definitely put that. Full-time, part-time, temp, fill that in. Referral. For the referrals, you want to make sure that if you're writing someone's name down as a referral, that you've asked them before and that they know that someone might be calling. And if you had a job, let's say, so this is for GameStop, let's say you worked at a different store in the mall, that was for retail, this is a retail job, that is a great thing to put there. So like retail to retail is great, or if you did engineering, and I want a different engineering job, it's great to put something that is common. But if you don't, let's say you just worked at a family business or you babysat or pet sat, that's totally fine to put in here too. Just make sure that you ask if it's okay to put their information. Hours that you want to work, you don't have to fill this out. Maybe if you don't know, if you're really open for anything, you can even just write all. Wage or salary desired, again, you can write that, you cannot write that. If you don't really know what the salary or wage is, maybe leave it off, because if you're asking $100 an hour and they usually pay $20, that might be a deterrent for them. Date available, and then just have you ever been employed by GameStop before? So they might ask if you've ever been employed for that company before. So more or less pretty easy, but again, just have your ID, all that stuff ready and with you. Okay, so savings for money. I know at your age you're probably not really thinking about saving. I know when I was younger that I would make money and then I would just go out to the mall with my friends or go buy ice cream or whatever. But you really want to start saving some of your money. You want to have it. I like to have 3 different envelopes or 3 different jars. One for saving, one for retirement, and one for an emergency plan. I know you're probably not really thinking about retiring at your age, but if you can just put a little money a day away, by the time you retire, you'll have a lot saved. Also savings, this can be for saving for something that you want to buy or savings for the future. And then emergency plan. Again, my emergency plan, I own a house, is a little different than what you would be having your emergency plan for. But this is just in case you really need money, right? Let's say you get a car and you need new brakes or you need something. That's just good to have, that you don't have to dip into your other accounts. Okay, so it turns out that being an adult is mostly just Googling how to do stuff. Kind of true. I don't know, like, how we survived before there was Google. Like, when I was growing up, well, when I was a teenager there was Google, but when I was younger, like, the internet was kind of a new thing. So I know it's hard to believe that, right? But really, a lot of things Google. I know my key fob on my car wasn't working, and I literally just Googled how to make it work. Instead of looking through the manual, sitting there and trying to find the right thing, Googled it. I was able to do it in like 2 minutes. But with Google, you have to be cautious that maybe not everything that you read is true. Right now, everything on the internet is true. Also, websites like Wikipedia and ones like those, anyone can add information. So again, you just want to make sure that it is true information. Okay, adulting. So adulting is a verb. To do grown-up things and hold responsibilities such as a 9-to-5 job, a mortgage/rent, a car payment, or anything else that makes one think of grown-ups. So 9-to-5 job, that's hours that most people work. 8-hour work day. But not everyone works those hours. Some people go in super early in the morning, some people go later at night, right? If you're a nurse or a doctor, they work, there's people at work 24/7. So some people work 12. I know my mom is a nurse and she works 12-hour shifts. Sometimes people work them in the morning, at nighttime. If you work at a restaurant, you usually work at night. So again, every job has different hours, and depending what job you do, that will be different. A mortgage or rent. So if you rent a house, then you pay monthly, right? You don't own the house, but you pay somebody to live there. For a mortgage, that is when you own the house, but most people, right, when they buy a house, don't have $200,000 or $500,000 to just lay out. So you buy a mortgage, which you pay, so you put some money down to buy the house, but then you pay a mortgage, you pay kind of like rent, but it goes towards your house, so that after many years you can pay off the house. Then a car payment. So many people either pay monthly for a car, so they you can buy a car and then pay monthly increments until the car is paid off, or some people lease a car, so they have a car for, it's like 3 years usually, and then once, it's kind of like they're renting it, and then once once those 3 years are over, they can either buy the car for a cheaper amount or they can get a new one, or some people buy a car outright. Okay, now a little sentence about adulting. Jane is adulting quite well today, as she is on time for work promptly at 8 a.m. and appears well groomed. Adulting, responsible, responsibilities, bills, and grown up. Right, when you're younger, you get mail and you're super excited. When you get older, it's usually a lot of bills. Okay, now we're gonna go really quick over the parts of a check, and I will show you this up close. So here's usually your information on a check. If you have your own checkbook, it will have your name, address, phone number. Up here is where you'll put the date. Then you're going to write who the check is to. So let's say you write it to me, you would write Michelle Vamos here. If you're writing it for $100, you write out 100. I like to put the cents, so period, 00. Then you're going to write the amount in words. So here you'd actually write out 100. And then right here is where you can write what the check is for. So if it's for my birthday or it's for a wedding, you could just put that little memo there, and then you're going to sign here. This information is important about your bank and your account. So here is your bank routing number. So every bank has a different routing number. Here's your check number, which also your check number is on the top right. And then your account, your checking account number is here. So sometimes if you get a job, they might ask for a voided check. So what you do is you just write void over the whole check, and that's really so they have this information so they can do direct deposit. Some jobs will give you a check bi-weekly, monthly, weekly. where they would just give you a check and you deposit it. But if you do direct deposit, they put the money right into your account, and they would need that information. Okay, and then I'm going to show you a quick video on how to do some simple sewing, just if you have a little hole in your shirt, how you can just fix that up. And then I just thought this was funny and true. The worst parts about adulting. So handling your own finances, it's a little hard, right? Trying to do all this stuff on your own, but you'll learn quite easy. You'll learn after a while. Cooking for yourself, it's hard too, right? Just learning how to make pasta for yourself or make different things that maybe you didn't make in the past. And also making good choices about food, right? Eating your vegetables, all that stuff. Being a working professional, hard too, right? Changing your schedule from what you had before, from being a student to a professional. Making your own doctor's appointments, a little harder. Not having your parents or someone else do them for you, right? You have to remember the appointments on your own. And then the biggest part is not enough time for naps, right? It's hard to take naps sometimes when you're adulting. But thank you guys so much. I'm going to now show you up close how to do the cover letter, resume, thank you note, and the check, as well as sewing. Thanks again. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do some simple sewing. With the needles, they all have different sizes on the top. As you can see, this has a really small hole, where this hole is a lot larger. So I'm going to show you using this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your needle, then you're going to take your thread, and you're going to put it through the top of the needle, and then you want to bring the ends together, and you want to tie a knot. Okay, and then you want to cut off the remaining. Okay, and then we're going to bring it back here. Then I just took some fabric, just so I can show you. But you would do this if you had a hole in your shirt or anything like that. I'm just showing you, again, really simple sewing. So I'm going to sew these two edges together. You're going to take your needle. You're going to put it through the fabric. I'm going to pull it through so that the knot is at the end. It's okay, I have a little other knot in this, which is okay, but you want to just pull it through. So you want to take it from one end, pull it through to the other, and tighten it. See how you can see how it's already close together. Then you want to do that again. Make sure it goes through both pieces, and pull it through and tighten. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way down. Usually, if you have a really big hole, then you want it to be less discreet, but just a little hole, this is great to just fix it. Sewing is a lost art for people my age and younger. It really is so helpful being able to shorten something if you need it. If you have, I've had jeans that were too long that I needed to fix, and it's expensive to have to go do them. And now too, with YouTube, like I was saying before, with Googling things, YouTube, all these different places, you can really teach yourself how to do so many things. So I'm just going to show you, do one more. And some fabrics are harder to get through than others. But as you can see, it's all open here. And then here, we have it all sewn up. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so first we're going to go for how to write a cover letter. On the cover letter, you want not to have your name at the top. You're only going to have that at the bottom, but you're going to write your address, including zip code, all of that, phone number, email, address, and the date. Then you're going to write out the employer, the future employer's information for whatever you know. If you don't know all this stuff, then it's okay. You can leave it out. Then you're going to write to them, addressing them by Mr. or Mrs. or Miss. And if you never want to put their first name. And if you do not know exactly who you are writing to, you can use
a title such as director of or recruiter, but you never want to write to whom it may concern or dear sir or madam. Then the first paragraph, you want to note the name of the position you are applying for and tell them when and where you heard about it. And if you don't know specific openings, you can just ask if there are any available positions, any of that, or any entry level positions. And then you want to summarize the accomplishments that qualify you for this position, your degree, years of experience, all of that stuff. Then the middle paragraph, you want to state why you're interested in this position at their organization, and then give examples of your academics, your background, what qualifies you for the position, and then just anything that is relative and related to specific training that would help you at this job. And you really just want to show your skills. And then the last paragraph, you want to express your appreciation for their consideration and request an opportunity to meet in person. And then you want to provide specific information how you can be reached. Make sure your voicemail is professional. Also, with that being said, that any social media you have is professional. And you may state that you will contact the person in about a week or 10 days just to make sure, that everything was received. And then you're going to write sincerely your name, and then your first and last name go here, unless you have professional letterhead that's pre-printed. Again, your name is just going here. And that is it for cover letter. Okay, so now we are going to go over the format up close for the resume. So everything is going to be in chronological order, like I said in the PowerPoint. So you're going to have your name, then you're going to have your address, phone number, and email address. Then you're going to write your education. So right here it says name of university, college. If you're just out of high school, then that would be the high school you went to. Again, the city and state. And any degrees that will be awarded or expected. And then, like I said, if you have a higher GPA, a 3.0 or above, you want to write it in there. Your coursework, list the names of 4 to 8 courses that directly relate to your major and / or the objective. Honors and awards, academic achievements, scholarships, dean's lists, honors, outstanding accomplishments, anything like that you want to include there. Work experience. So the names of company in the city or state, your title, what you did there, when you were there. You want to use bulleted sentences, or bulleted statements, I should say, and be concise and informative. You don't want to put too much information. You don't want it to go on and on. List positions in reverse chronological order. Use action words to describe duties, skills. You could always look up keywords for whatever job you're looking for. That's always helpful. And then, just keep going with all that information. Activities include academic or social activities, state position, if you are an officer or a leader, right? So if you're a president of a club, anything like that, along with dates and skills, like I said before. So if you are good at PowerPoint or any of that stuff, you want that to be there. Also, any languages you speak other than English, super helpful. Okay, now after you have sent your resume, and if you did a interview, or even if you didn't do an interview, you could always send a thank you letter. Even if you had a phone interview, it's a great thing to send. So you want to write your information, the date, the name of the organization, title, all of that. Then dear Mr. or Mrs., last name, like we said before. Then you want to use the first paragraph to thank the interviewer for taking the time to meet with you. Like even if it was in person or over the phone. Mention that you are interested in the job and how enthusiastic you are about it. The second paragraph, you want, of your thank you letter, want to include the reasons why you're an excellent candidate for the job. You want to list specific skills that relate to the job you're interviewed for. The more detailed you are, the better. The third paragraph, which is optional, but can be used to mention anything that you didn't bring up at their interview that you'd like the employer to know, right? Sometimes we forget to think of things. We can't remember things when we're doing them, so it's great to just let them know anything else you think you left out. This can give you another chance to make a good impression, right? You always want to say something that that will keep them remembering you, that makes you stand out from the rest of the interviewers. And then the closing paragraph, you want to reiterate your appreciation for being considerate, for them taking time to interview you, and looking forward from hearing from them. Then sincerely, your name, your signature, and then your typed name. Also, just a few interviewing things to go over. You want to make sure that you're always dressed appropriately for the position, that you arrive early. You know, I always say it's better to be half an hour early than 2 minutes late. You don't want to be late at all. You want to make sure that you bring any proper paperwork, as such as an ID, social security card, any licenses, or anything you would need like that. You also, before the interview, want to make sure that you research the company, you know some background, you know what they're really, what's important to them. When you're doing the interview, you want to maintain good eye contact, maintain a nice sitting position, active listening. You want to be relaxed and natural and positive, enthusiastic. And you really just, you, as much as the jobs that you want them to hire you, you're also kind of interviewing them to see if this job is the best for you. So, awesome. Hope this is helpful.